Hello everyone, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. Today we are doing another comparisons ball review of the Roto Grip Attention Star. In our comparisons ball review, we always have a straighter player and a player that curves it a little bit. We also use specto and take a look at all of the specto data at the very end to give you some insights that you might not be able to see in the ball motion. As always, if you like bowling content, make sure you subscribe. We're growing quickly and we appreciate all the support. Our first tester is Hurley, our straighter player with aspirations for the PWBA Tour. 220 plus average player, throws it great, and will be testing her Attention Star against her Absolute and Absolute Power. Let's check it out.
All right, Katie, Attention Star today. First 5 shots, what's your initial impression?
Yeah, I love it. I love the ball motion. I think it goes pretty long, pretty strong in the back end. I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far, so I'm excited.
Okay, cool. Let's see some more shots.
Awesome.
Katie, about a game now with the new Attention Star. What are your initial thoughts?
Yeah, I really like it. Love the ball motion. I love the strength, but also the controllableness of the ball seems really versatile. So I'm really excited to use it. So yeah, I like it.
What are we going to be comparing to today?
We're going to compare it to the Absolute.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right, Katie, 5 shots or so with the Absolute, which is one of your favorites, especially in the center.
Yes.
How do you feel like it compares to the Attention Star?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty comparable. I think they're very complementary to each other. I'm seeing somewhat of a similar shape between both of them. So I think the Attention Star is going to be something that I'll be drawn to, like for league, especially here at Lakeview. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's giving me a good shape and it's a complement to the Absolute.
Okay, do you have it a little stronger or a little weaker than the Absolute?
I think it's a tad weaker than the Absolute, but still a pretty strong motion down lane, which I really like. So yeah.
Okay, sounds good. What are we going to be comparing to next?
We're going to compare it to the Absolute Power.
Yeah. All right, Katie, just finished with the Absolute Power. How do you feel like that compares to the Absolute and the Attention Star?
Yeah, so I definitely got a different look from the Absolute Power. The Attention Star and the Absolute were a little more similar to me, a little closer, a little more comparable. So the Absolute Power just gives a different look down lane. And so I like all three for their separate qualities, but I think they can all complement each other really well. So yeah.
Okay, great. All right, Katie, so you've compared the Attention Star today to the Absolute, which is one of your favorites. You really know that ball really well, an Absolute Power that you've gotten used to now a bit. How do you feel like the Attention Star compares to those two? What's your final rating, and who do you think should look for the bowling ball?
Yeah, so the Attention Star, I'd probably give it a fire rating. I really like it. I love the ball motion, and I think compared to the Absolute, which is a ball that I absolutely love, I think it's a really good complement. It'll be a great addition to my bag, and I think too, with the Absolute being discontinued, the Attention Star could be a good ball to fill in that hole. And I think anyone can use it on a house shot, somewhere like here at Lakeview for league night. And I think it's a pretty versatile ball. You can use it on certain lane conditions as well. So I think that versatility is a big decision that aids in my decision as to why I chose fire. So.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Perfect, thank you.
Bye.
Up next, we have our power player, Ryan Riley. A lot of rev rate, a lot of power, a lot of fun to watch. He's going to be comparing the new Attention Star to his Roto Grip clone and Virtual Energy Blackout. Let's see what he thinks.
All right, Ryan, first 5 shots with the Attention Star. From my angle, looks pretty sideways, looks pretty good for you down lane. What are you thinking? What are you seeing
It's
so
much
far?
stronger than I thought it was going to be. It's not as clean as I thought it would be, so it's pretty little earlier, stronger. So
Okay.
excited to see what else I can do.
All right, sounds good. All right, Ryan, about a full game now with the Attention Star. What are your thoughts so far?
I like it a lot. It's actually much stronger than I thought it was going to be. Probably won't be much useful for me on a house shot because it's pushing me this far left already. Longer patterns, I could see it being pretty good just because of how clean it is, but it's not too clean because it still kind of revs up. So yeah, pretty exciting.
Okay, and what are you going to be comparing to today?
Next, I'm going to throw it to a clone.
Okay, sounds good. So about 5-6 shots there with the clone. How do you feel like that compares to the new Roto Grip Attention Star?
To me, it's much earlier and smoother overall, a lot more forward off the spot. Don't know how useful the clone is. I don't really throw it that much just because of how smooth it is for what it is. Definitely much smoother than the Attention Star overall though. So.
Okay, so in these conditions, which are, would you say are a little drier? Right?
They're a little drier, yeah.
A little drier. So in these conditions, you'd be more likely to throw the Attention Star?
Absolutely, yeah. Something to give me a little bit more mist room, not as forward off the spot.
Okay, and then what are you comparing to next?
Virtual Energy Blackout.
Okay, well, let's see it. All right, Ryan, you got about 5-6 shots there now with the Virtual Energy Blackout. How does it compare to the clone and the new Attention Star?
It's the cleanest of the three, definitely the most cleanest, a lot quicker off the spot. So I stood in the same spot with all three just to see what they would do. I'd probably have to move a little bit right with that ball just because of how clean and quick it is, but I would definitely go to that under the Attention Star over the clone. So,
okay, cool. All right, Ryan, so you bowled about a game with the new Attention Star, compared it to the clone and Virtual Energy Blackout. What's your final rating of the ball, and who do you think should take a look at it?
I'm gonna rate it nuts. I haven't seen a ball like this in quite a while. Like, they're a little drier, but they also get clipped. And a lot of times you get it in, they kind of just push and don't. So I want to throw it on a couple longer patterns, but I'm going to give it nuts. I think it's pretty good. So I think it's going to be good for all-around players. You know, speed-dominant players might have to take the surface off. So those guys that are a little bit more hand in it that can open lane up is probably going to be pretty good. So.
Okay, cool. Great. Thanks, man.
Yep.
So that's what the bowlers thought. What does the specto data say? So let's start off with Katie, where we can see actually a pretty good normal progression. There's nothing real crazy that sticks out here where speed loss with change of direction is significantly different. As the bowling balls slow down more, they change direction more. So you can kind of see somewhat of a nice progression here from the Attention Star to the absolute power. All of them, as the balls slow down more, change direction more. And if you watch a lot of these videos, you know that is not always the case. Now, the one thing to take away here is looking at the Attention Star and Absolute. What you'll notice is that both have pretty similar total hook. And you might be thinking, okay, well, these balls are kind of similar. But when you take a look at impact angle, the Attention Star has quite a bit less. It slows down a lot less in the back part of the lane and changes direction a lot less in the back part of the lane. What that means is that these two bowling balls were probably pretty close to being on top of each other for Katie, but the Attention Star is actually likely still in the hook phase when it's hitting the pins. So even though they may hook the same amount, Katie might be standing and looking in the same spot. The fact that you can see the speed loss, impact angle, and change of direction numbers that are significantly different here in the spectro data kind of helps us predict that the Attention Star would likely not carry quite as well as the Absolute in these particular conditions, unless she moved a little further right, got a little bit more into the dry. But for the most part, for Katie, this Attention Star is actually the weakest ball of the group. Now in Ryan's case, we have another interesting scenario where speed loss does not equate to change of direction. So with Katie, we saw a correlation between speed loss and change of direction in all of our equipment, which is kind of typically what you want to see. If you haven't seen the harsh reality comparison video, I strongly suggest that one, where Derek experiences this to an extreme degree, and because it's extreme, you can learn from it quite a bit more. But here with the Attention Star, you can see that it does not slow down really that much more than the other bowling balls that Ryan has. But the change of direction is quite a bit more, as well as the impact angle and total hook. Now, in Ryan's case, because he generates a lot of rev rate, as long as they hook, as long as the lanes hook, and you're guaranteed to get the speed loss out of the lanes in the oil condition, he's probably going to be okay. But generally speaking, compared to the other two bowling balls, he's probably more likely to get erratic and unpredictable ball motion out of the Attention Star, specifically because it is not actually slowing down a lot more than the other bowling balls, even though it's producing a lot more change of direction. So again, just like in that harsh reality video with Derek, if Ryan was to catch a little bit more oil, throw it a little faster, have a little lower rev rate, he might see significantly different results out of the bowling ball because the bowling ball is not really slowing down that much for how much it's changing direction. So the bowling balls that really produce consistent results over a lot of different patterns that aren't necessarily very conditional are going to be the bowling balls that have very consistent speed loss. Now, the other interesting takeaway is that for Ryan, the Attention Star hooked a lot more than the other bowling balls for Katie. And I really believe that this is because of the rev rate, and a great example as to how the style can have a huge impact on how the ball performs. Katie technically threw bowling balls weaker than the Clone and Virtual Blackout, and the Attention Star was still weaker than those two. Ryan threw the Clone and Blackout, which technically should be slightly stronger than the Attention Star, but the Attention Star was actually stronger than those two bowling balls, and that's mainly because of his style and rev rate. What we do see in the data from both players is that this bowling ball is very clean. It does not seem to slow down a lot for either player compared to their other equipment, yet it still does change direction quite a bit for both players, even though it's not slowing down. This can be a sign of a bowling ball that works really well as a niche bowling ball when they're very, very dry, or if someone is very rev dominant or throws it very, very slow. This reminds me of a bowling ball that I felt was very unique over the years that many other manufacturers had a hard time duplicating, and that is the High Road Pearl. This bowling ball was extremely clean and created a lot of angularity and really got through friction sometimes better than other bowling balls, but was still able to really change direction a lot down lane. Often bowling balls that are able to get through the friction quite easily tend to be very smooth and lazy down lane. And the High Road Pearl was kind of unique, and I'll be curious to see if the Attention Star is possibly in that same type of spot, even though it is obviously not exactly the same type of bowling ball. The contrasting results for these two players with how the Attention Star fits in each of their bags is a great example of how important it is to make sure you reference players that have a similar style to yours. And that's what we're going to hope to continue to keep doing for you in these comparison ball reviews. If you'd like to see these two bowlers and another bowler square off in a 5-frame match with the loser losing their Attention Star to one of you, our subscribers, make sure you look for our Pink Slips ball review of this bowling ball, which will release on February 19th, the same day as the Attention Star's release date. And as always, if you like bowling ball reviews like this, unfiltered, no sponsors, make sure you subscribe. And thanks for watching.